Welcome to the Moore family farm. Hey, we're going to go down here and check on these pines and see how many they cleared out back here. Let's go back here and check these out. Starting to get some cleared out there. Got 15 acres to clear out. Been waiting 2 years for them to come along. Now he's telling me that his trucks are all loaded up from the last job, and wherever he took them to is backed up, so they're just sitting there loaded up, and he has to wait for them to get done before he can really go too much farther. And because he needs his loader, I don't know why his loaders has to do with the trailers unless he has to actually unload them where he's at. But yeah, we're getting them done. Once I get this all cleared out, probably fence this in and move the goats down here and let them graze through this stuff, and then make the other field for hay. Let's go back down to the pond. I've come up here a few times and there's been deers up here eating all the leaves on the ground. Nice cedar. I hope he keeps that one there, maybe. I mean, right there's a good sized pasture right there. Imagine what it's going to look like with the 15 acres gone. I'd love to have it come in here and ground it down, or the stumps all pulled up, but sure enough ain't gonna have money for that. But I just think I'm gonna seed it, put the goats back here. They don't mind the stumps. Go down here to the pond. Got some bass and bluegill in there. I'm gonna sock it a little heavier this fall. I've been feeding, trying to get them fattened up. Had a lot of butterflies this year around here. See the one right there by the telephone pole? See him or not. There's another little yellow one. I've done a lot of clearing myself. Cleaning all this up was all wood. stuff I'm trying to keep here. I'm just trying to thin it out. Here's my little orchards. I have 3 apple trees, a pear tree. I got grapevines. Last time I bought grapes, I really didn't pay attention to them, and they were like a musky tasting, more as for wine and stuff. I'm just trying to get some eating grapes. So this time these are supposed to be real good flavorful grapes. And I got 3 blueberry bushes, and I have a fig tree that I just planted there. It's starting to feel pretty good. I need to get the grass away from it. I'm not a very good weeder. Weeds always take over on my stuff. I cleared this off. I need to get it more stabilized. All these storms and stuff, it keeps washing out. My son-in-law got a four-wheeler. He's making all these little trails up through the woods. That's his truck when we first moved here. He bought this little Toyota truck. Dogged the heck out of it, man. He's jumping and racing through here. He broke the frame a couple of times, tried to re-weld it. I think it's pretty much shot. Need to call the junk man to come get it. Some more of my stuff. I cleared this little section out. That's pretty clear. I got a lot of cedar trees around there. I've been cutting the bottom limbs off, trying to figure out which ones I'm going to save and which ones I'm going to space out. Got my rock pile, cinder blocks, bricks, whatever I can find that drop down here. Need to come down here and clean them all up, stack them up. It's one thing on the farm, you don't throw nothing away. Might need it one day. My pond. It's about 6 foot deep. I don't know if it was ever any deeper. Maybe it's settled in. It has a pier here, and the guy in the back just passed away, and they were telling a story about him coming down here going fishing, and he walked out on it, and it collapsed. I think it was pretty rotten. The posts are pretty rotten. I tied into them for now, and I figured I'd just what I did was I went out there in the when it was frozen, and I stuck some 4x4s underneath of it, thinking it would be like 4 inches off the water, and I bolted it to the old pile, figuring then all I have to do is go out there and slip some new ones in on each side. And I guess when it was frozen, it was a little low, because now it's pretty much right on the bottom of them. But I guess it'll be alright. I'm going to run 2 new posts on each end of it, bolt them real good, and then start building it. But shoot, that's $1,000 worth of wood just on that little project. Seems like every project I get, it's like about $1,000 worth of wood or something. Ain't nothing cheap no more. This is my little feed house for the ducks and the fish. I got left the door unlocked a couple times, and something got in there and was chowing down on the food. So ever since I've been keeping it locked up, something been eating around the bottom trying to get in there. I think it might be just a raccoon. Well, it might be a squirrel, but I think it might be a raccoon. Get rolling this food. This is the duck food. I feed them to. So I got the thing is, I got 4 mallard ducks. Well, I got 3 mallard ducks and 1 white duck, but they're all males. So the 3 of them seem to get along all right, but they came together. Somebody didn't want them anymore, and I took them. But the one that I had already, they bully him to death. They can't hang around him. They'll chase him down in the water, or if he's down at the water, they'll chase him back up the house. They just don't want him around. I got this fish food. They love this. They're like piranhas, man. hit that food. But I also taught them, if you use bait, if you go fishing and you use bait for that floats pretty much, you'll have a hooked in no time. My grandkids come down here. I put them out there fishing, and they caught their first fish. Probably because I feed them and they just jump on. But and so far, I've told anybody that comes down here and goes fishing, they can do whatever they want with the fish. But so far, everybody's pretty much released them, put them back in the water, catch and release. But I don't mind. I've got so many in there that if you see the little ripples there, they're eating that food up. Every once in a while you get a big one jump out there. Yeah, it's so I don't know if it's settled or how deep it really was, but right down the middle, all the way to the end almost, I measured, and it's 6 feet. It pretty maintained 6 feet right down the middle, but that's about it. And then, you know, it's V's in more or less. But well, let's go up here and check on the goats. Summer months, as you can see, they got more than enough to eat, and I just let them graze. But I do give them food every once in a while to just as a kind of a treat there. But probably don't have to in the summertime, especially if they got all this to graze on. It's like 3 acres they have to graze on. So let's get hit up to the barn. I got my garden up here on the top of the hill. It's not too close to the house. It's kind of a little bit to the barn. Got up against the electric fence. But knock on wood, I haven't had any trouble with deer coming up here and eating anything yet. These the sunflower seeds, you think they'd be chowing down on them? Or these last 3 rows right here, they're field corn, and then these other rows are silver queen. And I planted some late stuff, and then I planted some real late stuff. Even got pumpkins ripe already. But we got this bug. We got these bugs, Virginia, that came from the south, and they look kind of like stink bugs, but they got a nose like a mosquito, and they get up underneath those leaves of any kind of vine stuff like that. The zucchini they tear up, then like pumpkins or watermelons or any kind of vine plant, and they get up underneath of there, and especially down to get close to where the roots are, and they just suck all the life out of it. They suck all the juice out of it, and the leaves just start curling up. And if you spray, a lot of times you just spray the top of the leaves, but they're underneath, so they don't get sprayed. So they keep on eating, and they'll tear your crop up in no time. This year I thought I had a hang on it. I planted a bunch of marigolds. I try not to spray any kind of pesticide. I was trying to plant marigolds because they seem to hold the bugs back pretty good. They got like a little bit of an odor to them. I think that keeps them away. But yeah, gotta come up here and finish picking my green beans. I kind of jumped into this. We've been here 2 years. The first year, bought a bunch of animals. So with the animals and trying to remodel the house and stuff we had to do outside, just got way overwhelming. And I mean, we got rid of everything except for the chickens, the goats, and the ducks right now. And I still can't catch up on the work. I bought some silver paint right before we bought it, I guess as a selling thing. It used to be bare cinder block, and I don't know if the wood was like a faded white, and the barn was just rusty. You know, if you can see that little shed behind there, it looked like that, pretty much. And I guess they had somebody come in here and spray everything real quick, and anyway, the roof's starting to rust again. So I bought some silver paint. So that's another project I got. So I paint the roof. I got a fence going on down there. I got like 4 posts, and the rest of them hit rocks. I have to go down there and dig by hand somewhere. I have an auger from a tractor. I got electricity from the barn to the house. That's like 300. It's like 325 feet. So if you can see down there where the shovel is, right next to the telephone pole, I found the wire there. It's still the same color as the ones in the barn. The ones in the coming out the house are all 3 are black wires. So I'm figuring there's a splice somewhere. So I'm thinking maybe it's right where the telephone pole is. So that's the next spot I'm gonna start digging. So I got that project. I just added on to a chicken coop because we're keeping them in more unless we're home. We let them free range, but the rest of the time we keep them in because the foxes are just terrible out here. They come up in the day. As soon as you go in the door, they come up here and grab one and go back in the woods. So yeah, it's not worth it. So we keep them pinned up, except when we're home. And let's see. Then there's just mowing of the grass. I mean, it's probably 8 acres we have to mow if you include the field. I did mow that bottom part of the field, and I bagged up the grass for hay, trying to save some money. So I was letting that grow back, and when that grows back, I'm gonna cut this other half and bag that up. But yeah, here come the goats. See, they know I'm coming. Get some food. What y'all doing? Huh? Hey! Phew, y'all stink. What are you doing, little girl? What are you doing? Well, that's my video for today. I'm gonna feed the goats, and I guess I'll go mow some grass for now. I don't know if I can get in. I gotta get set to start digging. All right. I hope you watch my video, and subscribe at the bottom. I got a few more videos I got on there. You can look at those. And maybe one day I'll figure out how to edit my films and add some music and that kind of stuff like the rest of them. But right now, I don't know any of that technology. I know how to record on my phone. That's about it. All right, see ya.